implementation.
Show collective patriotism to consolidate Nigeria's greatness and sovereignty, President Tinubu tells Nigerians.
Get the military, let them be involved in enacting the law so that we look at the authority of the CNC as well as the tradition of the military.
Senate seeks to stop underage recruitment into Nigerian armed forces.
We must project Nigeria as it is, a diverse, dynamic, and resilient nation of hard-working people.
Be architect of building prosperity, Information Minister Mohammed Idris tags advertising industry. A warm evening to you and welcome to NTA Network News. I am Jumma Yusuf. Tonight we're bringing you some of the latest news from across the country with Adeola Kaumiakere as our anchor in Lagos. Benny Adams is on standby with business news. Benny, are we still bullish or bearish?
It is bullish. It's actually a hat-trick win for markets in Nigeria, South Africa, and Tunisia.
I love that hat-trick angle, you know. And Francisca Bella will be bringing us some exciting news
sports
in the world of sport. Francisca, I almost had a heart attack after they equalized after the first goal.
Well, in Juma, Nigerians are overexcited with the 4-1 win over Gabon, and the Super Eagles of Nigeria have made it to the finals on Sunday.
Well, we'll wait to see how they handle the other two games before we qualify for the World Cup. And remember, you can watch the live stream of this newscast on our various handles on social media. You can also catch a playback of this broadcast on our YouTube channel and all the social media platforms displayed on the screen. And tonight, for our survey, online survey, we're shifting attention back to Nigeria's power sector, with widespread meter bypass and energy theft contributing to blackouts and financial losses in Nigeria's power sector. What do you believe is the most critical solution? We want to know what you think. Join our online survey and make your position known. We'll be waiting for your votes. And now let's get the news in details. President Bola Tinubu is again calling on Nigerians to collectively invoke the patriotic spirit towards consolidating the country's greatness and ensure protection of its sovereignty. It was at the presentation of research paper by participants of the National Defense College, course 33 in the State House. State House correspondent Musbaud Wahab reports.
Members of course 33 of the Nigeria Defense College are here at the climax of their critical national assignments. And so, with their findings after a rigorous one-year research within Nigeria and across 23 countries, including 8 in Africa, 9 in Europe, and 6 in Asia. The theme of their research was harnessing indigenous manufacturing for enhanced national security and development strategic options for Nigeria by year 2040. The theme, they say, was fashioned in line with the renewed hope agenda of the current administration. It was a mandate to help the administration in its quest for diversification of the nation's economy.
This topic speaks directly to our determination to diversify Nigerian economy in order to boost revenue generation as well as enhance the socio-economic development of our people.
With 3 plausible scenarios, they give strategic options which they believe can help Nigeria towards greatness.
We strongly believe that the execution of the project Native 2040 Blueprint, coupled with your visionary and strategic leadership, will lead to the transformation of the indigenous manufacturing sector for enhanced economic growth, national security, and national development by year 2040.
Your presentation and the findings delivered to me this afternoon will receive a diligent attention and a thorough review and critical path for implementation.
President Bola Tinubu appreciates the intellectual endeavor, suggesting that Nigeria's pursuit for greatness requires collective efforts.
It is a patriotic duty to look further into the horizon, to be determined and be resilient, to invoke our spirit that can achieve greatness, to train our people, develop our economy, promote industrial development, and ensure that our sovereignty is assured, protected, and will remain resilient.
The 99 participants, including those from African, Asian, and South American countries, graduated in August this year. From the State House, Musbao and Wahab, NTA News.
The National Council on Privatization has approved the request by the Bureau of Public Enterprise to follow through on the engagement with Transcorp Power Consortium to secure execution of the performance agreements on the sale of Afam Power PLC and Afam 3 Fast Power Limited. The approval followed a memo presented to the National Council on Privatization by the Director General of BPE, Ayodeji Ariyo Ogbele. It is at this third meeting presided by Vice President Kashim Shettima at the Presidential Villa. Let's take a listen to State House correspondent Abdulrahman Jubila's report.
The target is to regularize outstanding conditions and operational targets for the post-acquisition plan and ensure commercial viability of the plant, demanding a fundamental shift in Nigeria's privatization agenda. Vice President Kashim Shettima urged a move from simply selling state-owned enterprises to asset optimization designed to power the nation's trillion-dollar economy ambition.
We must also confront one of the most persistent hurdles in our national reform journey, which is post-privatization integrity. It is essential that we create seamless structures and ironclad transaction documents that are meticulous, transparent, and legally sound. Our goal must be zero tolerance for ambiguities, because any deviation from clarity pulls us away from our true economic direction.
The unbundling of the Transmission Company of Nigeria into two entities, Nigerian Independent System Operator, as well as the Transmission Service Provider, was achieved in the course of this year. And that institution now is operational, has its own board, has its own management. In terms of impact, we can see a lot more focus on the part of Transmission Company of Nigeria on the engineering side of the transmission infrastructure.
After the sale of the Afam power plant to the Transcorp Consortium, which was finalized in November 2020, the federal government has completed the sale process with an outstanding 53.9 billion naira collected as privatization proceeds. From the State House, Abdulrahman Jubrila, NTA News.
Away from the presidency to other news, the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority says the federal government has suspended the implementation of the 15% ad valorem import duty on imported premium motor spirit and diesel. A statement signed by the Director of Public Affairs Department, George Ene-Ita, says there is adequate supply of petroleum products in the country. Therefore, no need for panic buying of AGO, PMS, LPG, among other products. The statement assured that the authority will continue to closely monitor the supply situation and take appropriate regulatory measures to prevent disruption of supply and distribution of petroleum products across the country. Now, Nigeria has reaffirmed strong commitment to the Fishery Committee for the West Central Gulf of Guinea, highlighting the growing importance of the blue economy to national development. The Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Adigboyega Oyetola, stated this at the 16th Conference of Ministers of FCWC in Lagos, where he also emerged as the new chairman of the regional body. Chukunose Unwabuze reports.
With the theme Securing Our Ocean Future, People, Resources and Commitments, the high-level regional meeting brought together ministers and senior officials from FCWC member states, including Benin, Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, Liberia, Nigeria, and Togo, alongside representatives of regional institutions, international partners, and maritime experts. Minister of Marine and Blue Economy Adegboyego Oyetola, while underscoring Nigeria's commitment to advancing collective action against illegal, unreported, and unregulated IUU fishing, called for strengthened joint patrols, harmonized regulations, real-time intelligence sharing, and coordinated enforcement mechanisms among member states.
We recognize that the well-governed and secure maritime space is central to food security, job creation, and long-term economic resilience. Our goal is to build a resilient, inclusive, and environmentally responsible blue economy that contributes meaningfully to national growth and regional stability.
Illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing continues to rob our region of billions of dollars every year. Beyond the numbers, IUU fishing threatens the very fabric of our coastal communities.
The conference, which was preceded by a series of technical sections, climaxed with the election of Nigeria's Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Adegboyego Oyetola, as the regional body's new chairman. The 17th Conference of Ministers of FCWC will be held in Togo. Chukunonso Nwabweze, NTA News.
And from the legislature, we hear the Senate is in the process of repealing and reenacting the Nigerian Armed Forces Act, part of which makes provision to prohibit enlistment of persons below 18 years in the military. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali has details on these and other considerations at the plenary this Thursday.
The Armed Forces Repeal and Reenactment Bill, sponsored by Senator Abdulaziz Eradua, contains provisions dealing with constitutional and operational legal framework, part of which seeks to reinforce the President's authority as Commander-in-Chief and vest the day-to-day operational command in the Chief of Defense Staff. When passed and assented to, qualified military lawyers will represent the armed forces in civil courts.
The bill upholds the supremacy of the Constitution and integrates fair hearing and due process into military justice.
Reports of boards of inquiry set off by military authorities should not serve as a basis for conviction. It violates the principles of nemo judice in causa sua. You cannot be a judge in your own cause.
Every cause should be entitled to be Chief of Army Staff, or Chief of Air Staff, or Chief of Defense Staff.
There is a need to, as we evolve in our democracy, we also align all other laws, especially the armed forces.
Get the military, let them be involved in enacting the law so that we look at the authority of the CNC as well as the tradition of the military.
It passed second reading and referred to Committee on Defense, Army, Navy and Air Force. Also passed at second reading is the bill that seeks to compel government agencies to implement court judgments.
Government agencies have developed a reputation of non-compliance with judgments, especially monetary judgments.
Amending the Sheriffs and Civil Processes Law will bring justice closer to the people.
That some of the fines that are there and some of the provisions that relate to administrative costs are actually outdated.
Bill that seeks establishment of a Chartered Institute of Revenue and Fiscal Management passed second reading. In another development, the Senate Committee on Public Accounts has commenced inquiry into collection and remittance of stamp duty charges across private and public entities.
Whatever these commercial banks are put together as revenue from stamp duty charged by the banks is or are supposed to be remitted to Central Bank of Nigeria.
The investigation, which commences in a couple of days, is targeting revenue collected on stamp duty from 2016 to 2024. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
In efforts to promote the integrity of Nigeria, the federal government wants stakeholders in the advertising industry to sustain efforts in building Nigeria as a brand of prosperity and not a land of crisis. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, at the 5th National Advertising Conference in Abuja says engagement with the international community, including the United States, is working on addressing current challenges misbranding Nigeria. Saliu Gwanara tells us more.
Since 2019, this annual platform
by the Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria has been equipping stakeholders with necessary information needed to address challenges, discuss trends, and set targets. Stakeholders at the 5th edition with the theme Marketing Communication Transforming Businesses and Creating Growth in Challenging Times are united in their desire to sustain the culture of innovative ways of building reputable brands.
This conference is our own industry convergence to learn, unlearn, and relearn better ways of getting out of the very best results in our various business.
The Minister of Information and National Orientation believes participants as custodians of national perception and image should focus on building brands that will project unity and fight falsehood.
When false narratives about Nigeria are spread, especially internationally and also intentionally, it is your creativity, your strategy, and your storytelling that can counterbalance them with truth, with context, and compelling narratives of hope and progress. We need a communication renaissance, one that emphasizes facts over fear, unity over division, and truth over propaganda. We must project Nigeria as it is, a diverse, dynamic, and resilient nation of hard-working people who coexist peacefully, aspire collectively, and strive daily to build a better society.
He emphasized that Nigeria is not a violator of religious freedom.
Let me state clearly and emphatically that this narrative is false. It is a distortion of our reality as a nation of diverse peoples and faith who have lived together peacefully for generations.
Advertisers, media owners, and independent producers are under the same roof created by the regulator in Abuja. Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara, NTA News.
We'll take a break now. There's more coming your way. Don't go away. Thanks for joining us. And we go to Jigawa State, where the Renewed Hope Initiative of Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has taken a step forward empowering the girl child through menstrual health education and support. The program, tagged Flow with Confidence, seeks to restore dignity, health and confidence among young schoolgirls across the state. Mohammed Musa Askira reports.
Representing the First Lady, wife of the Jigawa State Governor Hajia Hadiza Umar Namadi, launched the donation of 10,000 disposable sanitary pads for distribution to schoolgirls across the 27 local government areas of the state. Speakers at the event described the gesture as timely and strategic, emphasizing that improved menstrual health care will enhance school attendance, improve learning outcomes, and restore self-esteem among adolescent girls. Hajia Hadiza Umar Namadi explained that the initiative aims to eliminate the stigma, shame, and fear girls experience during their natural menstrual cycle, challenges that often force them to miss schools for several days every month.
Let us create a society where no things are shared and where every girl child has access to knowledge and materials needed to stay feeling healthy in school.
The event also featured goodwill messages from education stakeholders, women's group, and development partners who commended the First Lady's commitments to the welfare of women and children under the Renewed Hope Initiative.
Through awareness, access, advocacy, we can ensure that every young girl grows up in an environment that supports her well-being, her potentiality, and her productivity.
We thank you a lot for this wonderful job you are doing to our students.
In appreciation of her contribution to humanity, the Petty Traders Association and the APC Progressive Women Forum honored the Jigawa First Lady for her selfless service and dedication to improving the lives of women and girls. With the Flow with Confidence initiative now taking roots in Jigawa, the project stands as a strong statement of support for menstrual health and an investment in the education and dignity of the Nigerian girl. In Dutse, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
Now, in an era where technology is rewriting the roles of industry, Nigeria is investing in its most powerful asset, its people. At the ITF NECA Stakeholders Dialogue and Outstanding Trainee Award ceremony in Abuja, Young innovators stepped into the spotlight by providing solutions that tell a story of creativity, resilience and potential beyond the applause and awards. The event marked a renewed national call to equip youth with 21st century skills capable of shaping the future of work and driving sustainable economic transformation. Musa Abubakar tells us more.
Innovation defines progress. Nigeria's Industrial Training Fund and the Nigeria Employers Consultative Association are lighting the path, celebrating young minds, transforming ideas into impact.
Award here is based on where they are from where we left them. We want to see what they have done with their life.
As the need of the industry continues to evolve, the project also has continued to evolve.
At the ITF NECA Stakeholders Dialogue and 2023-2024 Outstanding Trainees Awards ceremony, industry leaders, mentors and partners converge, united by a shared dream, building a skilled, future-ready workforce.
Beyond training, there's also the engagement and the need for the employment of the trainees. This is key and this is very, very important.
With our vibrant youth population, technical and vocational skills are not merely alternatives to formal education. They are pathways to dignity, productivity, and national competitiveness.
From 3D animation artistry that tells Nigeria's story to data analytics dashboards uncovering insights, these projects echo one message: Nigeria's youth are ready for the future.
I will say to ITF, NECA, thank you for your support, thank you for believing, and thank you.
The awards segment sparkle with pride, honoring trainees whose creativity and resilience stood out across the nation. For the ITF and NECA, the celebration isn't just about the past, it's about the promise of tomorrow. A Nigeria where skills meet opportunity and talent powers transformation. In Abuja, Musa Abubakar, NTA News.
And in Kano, from being more than just being a network provider, MTN is living out its brand purpose of making life easier for Nigerians, especially in the spirit of the season. More than 40 customers smiled home with varying denominations of cash vouchers to pay for their purchases, a gesture that has strengthened their loyalty to the service provider. Tagged Vibe with the Yellow Tide. The initiative is part of MTN's nationwide end-of-year give-back program to appreciate customers across the country. Aisha Ubali reports.
Somewhere in the city of Kano, residents are seen going about their daily activities. But here at Zoo Road in the city, MTN Nigeria is tapping into the moment that matter most to its customers, especially as another festive season approaches. Synonymous with the color yellow, staff dressed in branded outfits took many by surprise as they spread cheer and appreciation to loyal subscribers. Surprises are indeed beautiful, as no fewer than 47 customers at the store got elated by MTN's gesture, reflecting commitment to making a difference in the lives of Nigerians true to its brand promise of being more than just a service provider. Ismail Ibrahim is one of the lucky subscribers who describes himself as a loyal customer.
Expect it. I just come visit my brother then to buy something, but I met them. I'm very happy.
Really nice, especially at a time like this when things are expensive and the country is really difficult. It's nice to see that some people care about us.
I think it's good. It's a good idea, giving back to society.
General Manager, Brands and Communication, MTN Nigeria, Emamoke Ogoro says it has been a tradition for the network's provider to spread joy and appreciate its customers nationwide.
Whether you're here in Kano, whether you're in Lagos, whether you're in Kafanchan, there's always a surprise for someone. We have a lot of rewards, we have a lot of packages, we have a lot of rewards for people who are going to be getting married, we have a lot of events, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
While the event is expected to last 3 days in Kano, Emamoke encourages residents to participate in the various MTN reward activities by visiting the portal yellowtide.mtn.ng. For Ismail Ibrahim and other beneficiaries, this Yellowtide will truly be a vibe with the MTN Yellowtide campaign. In Kano, Aisha Ubali, NTA News.
Now let's go to Gombe State, where Governor Muhammad Inuwa Yahya has presented 535,691,983,000 naira to the Gombe State House of Assembly. The budget estimate for the year 2026 fiscal year, Emmanuel Akila, reports that capital expenditure takes over 70% of the total projection.
The budget estimate tagged Budget of Consolidation has over 60% of the total projection going to capital expenditure, while recurrent expenditure takes over 30%. Governor Muhammad Inuwa Yahya, who lays the fiscal document before the state legislature, says the focus in 2026 is to continue with development projects having direct impact on the lives of the people of the state.
It is designed to be both visionary and pragmatic, thus ensuring that our fiscal policies translate directly into tangible and everlasting improvements in the lives and conditions of our citizens.
Speaker Abubakar Muhammad Lugero assures of expeditious passage of the fiscal bill to enhance completion of ongoing projects and the new ones expected in the new year.
We are going to do the needful in good time so as to enable you to implement laudable developmental policies and programs that will better the lives of our constituents.
You cannot leave a state on a sound footing without foundation. So this foundation is the capital projects. The capital projects, once the capital projects are on, all the other things will follow.
A sectoral analysis shows works, housing and transport taking over 130 billion naira, water resources over 80 billion naira, followed by education with over 40 billion naira, and health over 25 billion naira. In Gombe, Emmanuel Akila, NTA News.
Now, it is often said a little act of kindness can make a big difference. That message came alive as the Future of Nigeria initiative and partners marked World Kindness Day with the students of the FCT School for Children with Special Needs, Kuje. Ifoma Ojinta reports on the heartwarming event that celebrates inclusion and the power of kindness.
The spirit of inclusion came alive as Kind Toby, a young Nigerian with autism, musician and runway model, inspires students with his message that there is ability in disability. This was at the FCT School for Children with Special Needs when the Future of Nigeria Youth Initiative, a non-governmental organization and partners, brought the maiden edition of the World Kindness Day Inclusive Runway to their doorstep.
We have a lot of talent, God-deposited talent to people with special need. The only thing what we are saying, create an enabling environment.
World Kindness Day, the best thing we could do is to come to a school where you have inclusion all over the place. That is the School of the Needy. And you can see for yourself, we have Tobechi ran the runway with over 100 kids today.
Living in diaspora, we understand that, yeah, we are living abroad, but most of us want to come back here. So when we say I'm the future of Nigeria, we want to look into every future.
World Kindness Day is celebrated every 13th of November to showcase the beauty of kindness through diversity and inclusion. In Abuja, Ifoma Ojinta, NTA News.
Indeed, when you show kindness, it warms the heart. Now, moving on, the Federal Capital Territory Administration has cleared the air on what led to the confrontation between the FCT minister and a military officer on land development. Onoze Yakubu was at the media briefing convened by the directors of the Development Control and Lands Departments and brought back this report.
Controversy surrounding the confrontation between the FCT minister and the military officer might have generated discourse at various quarters. The issue of whether the disputed parcel of land has genuine title documents and building approval remains contentious. The FCT administration, through the Department of the Development Control and Lands Department, while clearing the air, restated the administration resolved to follow the rule of law in all its dealings.
The claimants have relied on a letter of intent issued by the Department of Parks and Recreation in 2007, 18 years ago,
to develop, manage, and operate a designated park site. I wish to make it clear that in the FCT, the only thing that gives you title to land is statutory right of occupancy.
The development on ground is not in line, has not been approved because there is no title document. What has been issued to Santos Estates is just to develop and maintain a park.
Director of Development Control, however, apologizes to Nigerians for his actions.
So it is unfortunate that we have issued order, nobody respected it. So I'm really sorry for what really happened.
Meanwhile, the FCT Minister Yesen Wike, who has expressed respect for Nigeria's military institutions, maintains his administration's stance that following due process in all affairs is sacrosanct.
Even when you are working with me, you will not be here forever. Perfect your document. You don't know who is coming tomorrow. The mere fact that nobody did that yesterday does not mean that somebody will not do it tomorrow.
The FCTA hopes to see to the amicable resolutions of the dispute. Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
It's now time to pause here as we join Adeola in our Lagos studio for more on Network News. Hello, Adeola.
Hi. Kaduna State Governor Senator Uba Sani has called for constitutional amendment to establish state police forces and police service commissions, emphasizing inclusivity and state-led approach to combating insecurity. He made the call while delivering a paper on the role of state government in overcoming insecurity in Nigeria at the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs (NIIA) Distinguished Lecture Series. Henkino John Adams reports.
The fight against insecurity is a priority for Nigeria. That is why these stakeholders are gathered to hear and learn from the Kaduna State success story. The Chief Security Officer of the state, Governor Uba Sani, highlighted strategies they have deployed in fighting insecurity, stressing the state government's role as architects of peace, social cohesion, and economic revival.
Security is a responsibility for everyone. And I think as a state government, like I always say, that the issue of insecurity sometimes has to do with economic issues. So carrying people along, ensuring that with different issue of intelligence gathering and sharing, having a synergy between relevant communities with the security agencies, and ensuring that there's a regular State Security Council meeting.
Experts at the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs, NIIA, highlighted the role of subnationals and local governments in peaceful cohesion.
Every time we speak the language of national security, many of us look only to the federal government. We have 3 layers of government, but even more subnational communities that exist.
In building a formidable national security architecture. In Lagos, Hinginu, John Adams, NTA News.
The Federal Ministry of Education is committed to revitalizing education through curriculum reform, teachers' professionalism, and digital technology integration. Minister of State for Education, Professor Suwaiba Sahid Ahmed, stated this at the 25th Annual General Meeting of Federal Unity Colleges held in Lagos. Bolaji Akim completes the story.
The importance of education in social economic development cannot be overemphasized. This is why principals of Federal Unity Colleges across the country gathered in Lagos to take a common stand on issues affecting them, with the theme, Education for Renewed Hope. repositioning secondary education for economic employment and national development. Minister of State for Education Professor Swaiba Sahad Ahmad charged the principals to uphold high ethical standards, as the ministry will do everything to sustain the standard of unity schools nationwide.
The ministry is committed to investing in education to empower young Nigerians and promote economic growth. Our focus on these key areas is to revitalize Nigeria's education system, promote a brighter future.
The National Assembly will continue to play the important role of budgeting and oversight to ensure that funds are made available to our colleges, and that we also monitor to ensure that you are doing well in your respective functions.
The meeting will, among other things, enhance the professional efficiency of participants through sharing of ideas and comparing notes.
Whenever we meet around, they are given series of induction courses, lectures, training on how best to move their schools towards achieving the desired goals and objectives.
We expect everybody to carry all that is discussed in his own best interest and go and now transit it in their own schools.
Top performing federal unity colleges in 2024 NECO, SSCE, and NAPTEC examinations were awarded and recognized. In Lagos, Bolaji Akim, NTA News.
And we're done with the contributions from Lagos. The network news will continue after this time out. Please stay with us.
Good to know you're here, and it's time to talk business. Now, Nigeria's contributory pension scheme has taken a leap with the introduction of the personal pension plan under the micro pension plan. Director General of PENCOM represented says the new pension scheme is designed to cover more than 80 million Nigerians who are outside of the formal sector's mandatory pension requirements. They include self-employed individuals, individuals in the informal sector, and workers who generally have an irregular income stream. This was at the annual conference of the Pension Correspondents Association of Nigeria with the theme Inclusion and Innovations, Bridging the Pension Gap for Nigeria's Informal Sector.
Digital and banking channels, whereby 50% of the contributions will be designated for pension, while 50% can be accessed for contingent withdrawal.
Expanding pension coverage through the personal pension plan is not merely a policy task. It's an investment in Nigeria's social and economic future.
As journalists, we are dedicated to deepening public understanding of pension matters. We believe in closing this gap is central to achieving sustainable social security, reducing poverty, and promoting inclusive growth.
Now, the personal pension plan, which will soon be launched, allows for daily, weekly, or monthly contributions depending on the contributor's income flow and preference. And to look at markets at this time, the stock market, Nigerian equities closed Thursday's trading on a bright note, extending the gains recorded in the previous sessions. As the all-share index rose 1.08%, the market capitalization also increased by 1 trillion to close at 93.48 trillion naira. And looking at it also, the South African JSE Top 40 also appreciated by 1.05%, while the Tunisia Tune Index also appreciated by 1.42%. That is it on business at this time. Jumai, you can take it from here.
Thank you so much, Benny. Now, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has congratulated His Royal Majesty Professor Epifani Chibugu Azinge Asagba of Asaba on his 70th birthday. In a letter to the monarch, President Tinubu joined the Azinge family, the Asagba Kingdom, and the people of Delta State in celebrating this special occasion. The president prayed to God Almighty to grant him many more years of good health and wisdom to continue providing sterling leadership to his people. In the same vein, President Bola Tinubu greets veteran journalist Tajuddin Karim on his 65th birthday. Special advisor to the president on information and strategy, Bayo Onanuga, in a statement indicated that with over 40 years of experience in journalism, Karim is currently the Executive Director of Public Sector and Strategy at the Nigerian Capital Development Fund. President Tinubu wishes Karim the Badegun of Oro Agu Kingdom of Nkwara State many more years and a lifetime of continued impact. We'll take another break. We'll be right back. Welcome back, and let's join Francisca for Sports Update.
Exciting. Of course it is exciting. You're welcome to Sports Update. Now a brace from Victor Osimhen and strikes from Ako Adams and Chidera Ejike secured the convincing 4-1 victory for the Super Eagles against Gabon in the semi-finals of the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifying playoffs on Thursday. The victory confirms the Super Eagles' place in the final, where they will compete against either Cameroon or the Democratic Republic of Congo on Sunday, who are currently playing their match. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has praised the Super Eagles for the impressive 4-1 win against Gabon in today's FIFA World Cup qualifying Africa playoff match, characterizing their performance as a true reflection of the Nigerian spirit that rises, adapts, and triumphs. The president praised the players, coaching staff, and the entire technical and administrative team for their steadfast commitment to the national cause, noting that such dedication has led to the success. Furthermore, he emphasized that the victory showcases the rich talent pool Nigeria continues to nurture and the Super Eagles' resolve to reclaim their stature among Africa's top teams. President Tinubu also acknowledged the millions of Nigerians both at home and abroad who passionately and loyally support the team, stressing that their enthusiasm serves as a significant motivation for the players, particularly during critical moments in international competitions.
Now back to the news. The family of late Dr. Aloysius Ogu of Ngwashi Ugu informed the public of the passing of their matriarch, Professor Ambassador Yu Joy Ogu, who died in New York on 12 October 2025 following a period of illness. A statement by the family says Ambassador Ogu was a dedicated public servant, a proud daughter of Delta State, who served the nation in various esteemed positions, including as Nigeria's permanent representative to the United Nations from 2008 to 2015. She also served as a Minister of Foreign Affairs from 2006 to 2007 and Director General of the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs from 2002 to 2006, where she made significant contributions to Nigeria's foreign policy, national development, and global relations. Following her demise, an evening of tribute will be held in her honor on Tuesday, 18th November 2025 at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Abuja, by 4 p.m. A funeral mass will also be held for her at 9:30 a.m. on Saturday, November 22nd, 2025 at the Church of the Holy Family, New Rochelle in New York. And that's it on Network News. Don't forget to check up our survey result on all our online platforms tonight to get the result of the survey. And on that, on behalf of the crew, I am Juma Yusuf. Thanks for watching.